the Rookie of the Month.
Yeah, I feel like the pressure is something that you can feel at times, but I think for myself, like, these are the moments that I always dreamed of, like being here, having the world watching you, playing on the biggest stage, playing in front of sold-out crowds. Like, I wouldn't want that any other way, so I think I remind myself, like, how lucky and grateful I am.
6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep three. Hook that in. She has space. She's going to let it fly, and she's going to connect.
Thought about pulling up from three. Will dip inside and lay it in of Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin's a different type of rookie, right? She's that rookie that has tons of pressure on her because of what she's done.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
What's up, guys? My name is Ty, and tonight we're going to react to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA and all the shenanigans that's surrounding it right now. Now, I wasn't even going to do a story about this at first, but it seems to be getting a lot of attention, so we go react. Now, a lot of people been talking about the Caitlin Clark and Kennedy Carter situation. You know, how Kennedy Carter cheap shot at her, and that basically triggered a bunch of people to where they wanted to say that it was racism. You know, that a lot of the women in the WNBA feel like that is they feel an animosity towards Caitlin Clark. You know, some people call it racism, some people call it frustration, whatever you want to call it. But another thing is it seems like they trying to pit Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark also, maybe more so like a rivalry. To my understanding, they played each other in college. You know, so both of them coming out as rookies. I think Angel Reese is a rookie also, and you know, but Caitlin Clark is the one that's being marketed in the WNBA right now, and it seems like a lot of women are starting to have a lot of animosity and built up frustration towards it. And that's fine, you know. They can feel how they want to feel. And as far as like with her and the Kennedy Clark situation, whether she got cheap shotted or not, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna just say that this is Caitlin Clark's introduction into the league. And the only reason I say that is because they do that to men in the male sports also. You know, like when the rookies come in, they get them a huge introduction by, you know, they just introduce them in the league and let them know that you're no longer in college. You out here in the big leagues now, and that's how we do it up out here. And get used to it. And another thing is that you being a rookie, you ain't gonna come up here and show me up out here on this court. Or in this sport, whatever we competing at. You know, you got some NBA players that tell stories about that. Kevin Garnett, he got one of the most famous Michael Jordan stories that you can go and look up, to where he was talking trash to Michael Jordan and it didn't go nowhere the way he thought it was gonna go. You know, Allen Iverson and Dennis Rodman were hit in his rookie season, to my understanding. I don't know if Matt Barnes was a rookie that year, but they got the famous, you know, the infamous clip with him trying to pump fake Kobe Bryant in his face or whatever, you know, and Kobe Bryant didn't budge, and he was a young player at the time. But that's what it could be. It could be that Caitlin Clark is being introduced in the league, and they showing her that she's not in college, and you know, sports is physical. But whether you want to call it racism or animosity or jealousy, whatever you want to call it, frustration, you know, it could be that can play a big factor in it, because they looking at it to like a lot of them have paved the way, and then they got this little rookie up out here that's coming out here making all the money, and a lot of them been playing, and they've been complaining about it over the past few years about how nobody watch the WNBA and how they not making enough money, to where you got the Shaq and Candace Parker clip, to where they was trying to figure out ways how to market the sport to make it more interesting for people to watch, since they don't make enough money. you know, because the wage gap was a big thing at the time. And also you got Draymond Green and Elisa Leslie talk. Same thing. You know, but right now Caitlin Clark is the cash cow. She's the one that's bringing the money in. Now I'm gonna play a couple of clips. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip to where this was the flagrant foul that everybody was just so upset about. And
Mabry doubled off to Carter. Her jumper is good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench. And big time contact afterwards. Saw the knockaway there from Clark, and then the lay from Boston as the officials are going to take a look at what just transpired between Carter and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter, I think that's going to be a flagrant one.
Yeah, she definitely called her a bitch. I mean, I saw that, you know, I watched it a couple of times, but and it don't matter what you try to get up out of there, man. It's definitely intentional. Now, like I said, man, a lot of people kind of look at it for what it is, man. You know, but you can't hide that or whatever. Now, what I'm gonna play now is I'm gonna play this Stephen A. clip on First Take. I'm gonna just play his clip because when I tried to pull the whole clip up, man, it is extremely long, and then with me reacting to the video, it'll turn into an hour, man, and a lot of people ain't got time for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play his clip because they had an exchange. For the people who actually seen the whole show or whatever, they had an exchange. For the ones who didn't see the show, I mean, they had an exchange. Him and Monica McNutt, they had an exchange. Stephen A. also had an exchange with a heated exchange with Molly. This was yesterday. So I'm gonna play the clip for today because I couldn't find no good clips to where, you know, the good clip to where Stephen A. was basically making his point. But on here he's making his point, and he basically just saying that, you know, he's saying the quiet part out loud, and to me it just sounds like they trying to pit Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese against each other, or maybe they trying to make them rivals, probably to try to bring more money into the league. We'll see how that work out. But at the end of the day, whatever they trying to do, the people that's jealous shouldn't be trying to mess it up. They should be protecting this person. The teammates, I meant to say, should be protecting Caitlin Clark because she is the cash cow. She's the one that everybody is looking at to bring money into the league. But let's let Stephen A. talk, and I'm going to react after the fact. Let's rock and roll.
Nothing anybody said is wrong. And in at least a couple of instances, I think Shannon alluded to where I'm about to go. I'm a bit more direct with it. I just want to let the audience know that I'm going to stand alone on what I'm about to say. I don't want anybody else to be held accountable for where I'm about to go. But I'm going to go there because it's First Take, and that's what we do on this show, even if it's just me. Caitlin Clark and everything that everybody is saying is fine, and we're looking at Angel Reese and what Angel Reese has said, and Angel Reese is absolutely right. I love Angel Reese. I'm a fan, and I think she's going to be a damn good player, and she's going to produce for a long time in the WNBA. She was a national champion. She deserves all the props and all the credit in the world. But let's keep in mind, it wasn't her game that was getting all the notoriety, despite the fact that she was a pretty damn good player. It was the fact that she was waving in Caitlin Clark's face, because Caitlin Clark had been doing that to the competition before she ran into LSU in that NCAA tournament, and LSU took them out. And so what happens is she was throwing it right back in her face, and you had people saying, oh my God, how could she do such a thing? How could she do such a thing? And they didn't say the same thing about Caitlin Clark, which is why I'm gonna go where I'm going, okay? Let me see everybody up on the screen when I say this, please. Caitlin Clark is white. And because she's white, and because she's considered box office and she's a star who happens to be white, That is why, Eminem, when I brought up words like envy or jealous or resentment, whatever word you wanted to pick, I didn't say it in a negative fashion like, oh my God, it's a problem. I used the word justified. You know why? Because black people throughout this country for years have felt that level of ire because we know we've got to be twice as good to get half as much. We know we've got to extend ourselves. We know we've got to put ourselves on Front Street to have a shot at getting half. Pick a profession. Pick a name. Ask yourself, pick the biggest star. Pick the biggest star in podcasts. Pick the biggest star in television. Pick the biggest star in sports, whatever. That's black. And ask yourself the question that we all ask. If they were white, what would they be? How much money would we get paid if we were white? How much success would we reap if we were white? How much endorsements would we get? How receptive would America be to us? Because it's still 60% of the population. And even in the year 2024, when the white populace in this country has dipped from 90 to 85 to 80 to 70 to now 60% and dipping, okay? Even now, you have a situation where you get somebody who happens to be white and they're a star and they deserve the acclaim. They receive something we know we wouldn't receive on that level. Why do you think I say on national television, when white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia? Because it's always worse for us. There's always an extra challenge. We always have to go through more. It's not a secret. We get it. And so all I'm trying to say to you is when Angel Reese said what she said, let's read between the lines. Because what she's really saying is that this is really not a big deal. We're making it a big deal because of what I did and who I did it to. If it was another sister that I did it towards, it wouldn't have been a problem. But because my black self did that to the golden goose, who happens to be white, it blew up. I've reaped some benefits from it, and I'll take that. But in the end, we know what it is. She is saying and articulating and being symptomatic of things that we have been going through as a community for decades, if not centuries. And the sad part is that in the year 2024, this is further evidence we still going through it. Because in the end, like you said, Eminem, like you said, Janae, like I know you know, Shay Shay, if we weren't talking about Caitlin Clark, but we were talking about this happening with a sister, guess what? We wouldn't have been talking about it at all. It wouldn't have been a story. The golden goose was touched. And all I'm saying is, I know this. Y'all know this. I'm just saying, rather than resent it to the point where it's an impediment to our elevation and success, let's exploit it and reap the benefits from it. Because that's what they do.
And I gotta agree. All he was basically just saying that Caitlin Clark is the cash cow. She's the one that's being marketed, and it looked like that they trying to make her the face of the league. And while they making her the face of the league, reap the benefits from it, milk it for as long as you can, because people are actually talking about it. And if, let's just say, something happened to her, God forbid, like if she getting injured for the season or something like that, and then what happens? What you go do? What they go try to market Angel Reese, and I'm not saying that they can't, but they make an attempt to do that. She might not get the same publicity as Caitlin Clark getting right now, and Caitlin Clark is actually leading these women to the way to get these big paydays or stuff, or whatever. It's kind of like when Michael Jordan came into the league, or I would say LeBron, but I'm gonna just use Mike and Kobe for an example. Like when Mike came into the league, it was like a game changer. The only difference is that Caitlin Clark is white. Or you could kind of use that, if I'm using a comparison, it's kind of like Eminem to rap. You got a lot of great rappers out there, but when Eminem came in, he's the white boy, and he can out-rap some of the black people. A lot of black people. And that's just to name one. You also got Paul Wall in the South. I'm not trying to compare the two, but Paul Wall is a good rapper. And it's the same with Caitlin Clark. She's just really good at basketball. She's feminine, white, and straight. And it could be a lot of hate and animosity that's going toward her way. That's all he was saying in so many words. I understand that, like, Monica was trying to defend her, saying that, you know, defending all the black women or whatever in the league. And I understand her point. You know, it's not about animosity, and she don't think that it was intentional. She was basically just trying to, you know, from her point, from me watching the clip. I couldn't show the whole clip because we'll be here all night. But from her standpoint, from when I was watching the clip, she was basically just saying the sport is physical. If it was somebody else, they wouldn't even been talking about it. But because it was Caitlin Clark, you know, people want to call out racism and they want to say all of this BS. And she got a good point, you know. But I guess it's like the perception. It's the way it's looking. And then when you got people like Sonny Huston on The View or Jamila Hill coming out speaking out about the shit, they ain't making it no better. And to be honest and to be fair, a lot of people don't like them. Just to be fair in that situation. But that's just my opinion on that situation, man. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Caitlin Clark is receiving a lot of hate, racism? Do you think it's racism? Do you think it's animosity? Do you think it's jealousy? And as blatant as it looked, do you think that it was an intentional, flagrant hit from Kennedy Carter? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and follow. Help my channel grow. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And my name is Ty, and I'm out. Peace.